Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listening to replay. This is the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. This is the vault. 401 Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. It's interesting. Like, oh, you put the title there just like that. Well, yeah, we're going to talk about it today on this episode so you can know what to expect for an upcoming workshop. We definitely want to start out on a positive note. There's so many good things going on at the vault right now that in particular we're just happy to just keep pushing the envelope at the vault. We're going to share something with the old time listeners and any new time listeners. We definitely want to share something that we worked on at the vault because we always wanted to make sure that the vault has a great image in the public and sharing with people. And so this conference is going to be something that we look forward to talking about on this episode. But we want to play something for individuals and share that with the longtime listeners, people that know Trust Christian and Vault, and really step out in the public and say, hey, look, this is what we do for trustees behind closed doors. We're making it a point to share with our trustees. You got to have this type of mentality, pushing the envelope. I am a dominant leader. I have willpower. I am self-reliant. I am strong in spirit. I have initiative. I am looking to enterprise. I have drive. I have energy. I have boldness. I have audacity. I am daring. I have courage. I have exertion. I have resolution. I have determination. I have intent. And I have purpose. I am so happy and grateful for now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in live, listening to replay. That was definitely something that we wanted to share with the audience. It's been a long time coming where we've had to step out and do so many more new things. Even getting that price point sitting on there. We're gonna make it a point to accommodate the alumni trustees. It doesn't look like that on that flyer that we have up. We may end up changing it depending on how we can go back and change the episode. We really do appreciate everybody tuning in live, listen to replay. If you enjoyed that track right there, that affirmation track, please feel free to hit the like. That always lets us know that we all, the feedback of the live listeners and even everybody that listens in the replay, for you to, listen to that track and actually enjoy. We appreciate all the likes that we end up coming in the replay about that particular track. We have quite a few people that, know about what we do and how we do things. And so we appreciate everybody that really makes it a point to enjoy the content that we put out at the vault. So in particular, this workshop, we're going to accommodate alums. Probably looking to do, what is that, probably do 2.6. We're probably looking at like a 2.6, 260 for alum, 3, what is that, 350 for, and then the new one, 444 VIP. We definitely are gonna, you know what we do over here at the vault is first class. It's always gonna be first class. Appreciate everybody that's come to the previous workshops in the past. We know what this means to people right here in this particular time. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't need to put up, oh, recession proof your life. The recession proof business is coming. The recession proof trustees are here. Oh, we're going to help you avoid the recession. We're not here to do that. It's asset protection. We're leaving it really simple. Um, could we always do 2 days? Maybe in these times we could. Should we do 2 days? Maybe. But we're still with the 1 day. You fly in, you fly out. Family, Orlando, you're there, you're in, you're out. 8 hours. It may even seem like, wow, that was like work and it was 1 day. But that's what happens, and we definitely know we're going to bring it on this one. We may have a new amigo, but this is a lady, and she's going to come in particular and talk about some things that we dealt with on the business level. When you talk about funding, and we're talking about it from the perspective of like small business loans. See, yeah, no one wants to state, oh, are you getting small business loans? There's a difference between big commercial loans and what and we're talking about now, smaller loans for smaller, ventures and things of that nature. So we're definitely excited to go into this workshop. We know that, this is going to be something that, we've already shown that we're going to show up. We have for the past, but this one in particular, we just got to make it a point to bring our A game every time. We know that there are going to be quite a few people at this one. It's going to be jam packed as they always are. But the reason why we played that track at the beginning of this episode was to show that you got to own nothing, control everything. You wonder how you're going to make money off of your content. You wonder how you're going to make money off your gifts, how you going to make money off your talents. The way you make money off your gifts and your talents is you got to not own it. You just got to control it. Oh man, we still in this age of everybody says push ownership. We know that term on the public side, but we cannot say that on the private side. Why? Because it's assets under management on the private side, is it not? And the liability is owning something. Is it or is it not? See, that's why you trust Christian own not to control everything, because that is the premise of the concept. It's the principles. Own nothing, control everything. Is it that easy to trust Christian in the vault? Why wouldn't it be? We're in a time where being able to fractionalize your talents and abilities, to put them in containers, to put them in a virtual container and dispense them over a period of time is definitely something that is advanced. The Ethernet, internet has leveraged the air, has leveraged what now is even more own nothing, control everything. Because the distribution channels, you don't need to own a distribution channel, do you? Would you have had to own a distribution channel in the past? You used to be the distribution channel. Now you can give it to other distributors that are connecting with people through the virtual platforms. Own nothing, control everything. What are you controlling? You're controlling the hard. What they say? Here we go. We're gonna go ahead and drop the jewels. They say possession is 9/10 of the law. Has anyone in the chat? Can anyone type into the chat? Have you heard possession is 9/10 of the law? If you've heard possession is 9/10 of the law, type into the chat that I've heard possession is 9/10 of the law. That is a equitable term when we talk in terms. This is what we're talking about at the workshops. Because when we're talking amongst each other in trust or and when we talk about asset protection, there is an equity position. And since there's an equity position, what is that equity position? That's possession, right? It says possession, 9/10 of the law. So can anyone type into the chat, have they heard possession is 9/10 of the law? We'll give some people some time to type into the chat. Have they heard that possession is 9/10 of the law? Has anyone in the chat heard that possession is 9/10 of the law? Let's hear it. Anyone that's listening live. If you're listening live or even in the replay, have you heard possession is 9/10 of the law? So if you heard that possession is 9/10 of the law, what's the other 1%? Because then that would be the 1/10. So what is the one? Because they have the nine. What do you say? Possession is 9 tenths of the law. That means you own majority of it. They want to use that rule. Oh, it's majority. I have ownership rules of majority. Well, if you have majority, which could be 7 or 8 or 9, what's that other 1% that they want to always make? Well, is there room for someone to bring up what's this thing that can come out of nowhere? They'll come out of nowhere and they'll say, I have the legal title. So I'm going to say that here we go. This is for all you UCC players that want to hear Trust Christian and Evolve break it down for you. When you have the legal title, the 1%, the legal title, when you have first in time, first in line, you can hit the like button again. When you hit the first in time, first in line, the legal title, when you go in front of the court now, what they're going to do, they're going to say, okay, we're going to hear this dispute. And you're going to go through mediation to see if these contracts are even valid. Because we're not going to bring anything in here and start making you all incur legal fees without you all coming in here through some type of mediation first. Had a conversation to see, okay, let's see the facts that are in dispute. This isn't legal advice, not financial advice, but let's have this conversation today. Just trust Christian, own not to control everything. We're talking about the fact that, oh, well, if possession is nonsense of the law, what's that other 1%? Oh, it's that legal title that someone wants to come here and say, well, I'm first in time, first in line. You're first in time, first in line for what? A name? A brand? A business? A legal entity? A legal structure? A legal construct? What do they call it in the UCC communities? They call it a cestacate trust. What else do they call it? They call it call it a constructive trust. They call it all these different type of things. Oh, it's some type of entity. Okay, so own not to control everything. Who created it? We're gonna blame your parents. So they're the grantors. Let's give one of them the blame. They're the grantors, right? Own not to control everything. So they're the parents are to blame. They handed it over to what? What did they sign the entity up for? Because now you're the what? Trustee for it. Now you're the manager for it. Now you're the fiduciary for it. Don't you have some type of fiduciary obligation to make sure that it files properly, to make sure that the entity that you're trying to separate yourself from by saying it's not yours because you don't own it. You just control it. Oh man, Trust Christian Revolt, you're right. So I didn't have to own it. But when it comes to control, I've been saying that I own it. You right. You still say you own things. We talk to trustees on the line all the time about talking about do they own things. And when you talk about owning things, you gonna get owned. It's a language. That's why you gotta trust Christian know not to control everything. Because it's counterintuitive. It's counterintuitive to nature. They got us down here, or they got people down here thinking, oh, who's they? Somebody. It's in the ethers. It's in the internet that floats around and says, oh, you should own something. But what happens when you put it out to the what? The universe. What happens when you put it out to what? The metaverse. See, we got to talk about these things to add to the what? The algorithm that's in the what? Metaverse. We got to utilize the technology now. Why? Because maybe some people are going to get off the planet and they're going to need this data to be transferred through the internet in space. And they're going to have your data floating in the universe. Maybe 100 years from now, maybe 1,000 years from now, your data. But is it your data or is it the family estates? Like everybody else that has money in the institutional realm, they say, okay, we are in the institutional realm. We're going to protect our family estates and digitize everything. And let's get the whole human race to digitize everything. And we'll hold that in our own company domain name called Ancestry.com. So whoever signed up for Ancestry.com, no plug, but guess what? Ancestry.com just collected assets from the human race that'll be able to be transferred off world to some website or to off world to some spaceship that'll hold the DNA for the human race because people wanted to give a cotton swab of their mouth at that period of time. That's how it works. Oh, not to control everything. But guess what? Now your superior data is in a superior database. And we're going to see how superior it is in the next world. That's how it goes. Own not to control everything. We don't need to own anything. But what if you could pass along your DNA proactively. Oh, maybe baking babies is not the way anymore. We're not saying that. We're not saying it at all. We're talking about controlling your DNA. You know how we talk about this many times with people about, you know how if you're in the United States, people when they have a driver's license, they say, are you an organ donor? Do you own your organs if you're an organ donor? Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Do you own your body if you're willing to give it over to the state that owns that license that say, oh, we got that body, we harvesting it. We're going to take it for goods. We're going to go ahead and extract it. We're going to get those pieces out before they take it back to the family. Is that how it goes? What's an organ donor? Trust Christian, know not to control everything. That's what an organ donor is. Somebody that hands over parts to the state and they just put the body with things. What if your family needed that? What if we could preserve those things? Oh, not to control everything. What if your family could preserve those things? Do some research on it. Because you got the medical team to do it now. Those are a little out there thoughts, you know. That's the little out there thoughts, audience. We're not going to talk about that at the workshop. Those out there thoughts of, having your family benefit your family. So trust Christian owner, own how to control everything. Well, we play the affirmation track. We know that that is a very important thing when you get up in the AM. Do you own your mind space? No, but you got to control it. It's a lot of thoughts coming in your head every single day. No one on this line right now is going to sit and say, "Oh man, every thought that comes in my head is the one I wanted it to come." Sometimes thoughts that we don't even want to come in because we're transmitting and we're on a wavelength and thoughts are coming in. Thoughts are coming in, they're going out. So what are we controlling? We're controlling our attention. We don't need to own the real estate state in our head or what we think is in our head. What if you didn't know? We're not going there today because we know science. So control everything. Do you control the assets? What if control was the new ownership? What if it's always been the ownership, but it's just the best thing because it takes away liability? What do you mean, Trust Christian Revolt? That's countercultural. You telling me that owning something means that I got a liability? Well, clearly, if you own something, can you be sued for it? Yes, then we already know the problem. We already know the problem. But that's countercultural because the culture, are you stuck in debt or are you stuck in dogma? Oh, Trust Christian Revolt, you ain't got to say it like that. What, you not going for views? We're going for the ones that are going to save themselves. You can't save somebody from going in debt. Oh man, that's a sin. We got people right now. Guess what? At the workshop, Cornell is going to share with how people don't even have to go in debt to get $100,000 from a trading company. Of course, they got a challenge. Of course, they make you qualify. Of course, they make you test. How much do you pay to get access to that test? You actually pay less than a couple grand. To get access to that challenge, look, you're not even going in debt. If you got to get $1,000 or $2,000 to get access to 100,000 or 50, then you already know where you are in life. Do you see how the spread is? You gotta, when they say, oh, it takes money to make money, you see, that's called investing in your education. First of all, you're investing to qualify to get money. How is that a debt? Do you see the difference? Oh man, I'm going to school to get an education. When I come out, I'm not guaranteed an education. Guaranteed an income. There's no guarantee. That's true. But okay, this is what the prop company says, because there are prop companies in the United States. There's prop companies in the world nowadays that are saying what? They're saying the traders that are sitting at home saying, oh, you're making all this money, huh? You're day trading, huh? Get the likes up. You're day trading at home now because you're making all this money at home. Guess what? You take a test. You're testing into a challenge. So you're taking a test. First of all, we're going to weed out the fakers from the real. Because first of all, if you're going into the trading, they already expect you to have money. Because they expect you to have money, They already know you got the couple grand. Bam, you got the couple grand. Bam, you're going to take the challenge now. For a week or two, they testing to see your trading habits. Bam, okay, you got the trading habits. Cornell's going to explain this in detail. He's going to share with you the companies he's working with. I didn't see this, brother. We supposed to have more for the episode tonight or today, wherever you are in the world. But we're going to do episodes for the next 60 days. We're going to do a blitz. We're doing a blitz until we get to this workshop because the workshops have always been packed. So we already know what the workshop's about. Have we changed lives? We've been doing this for seasons. Because we've been doing this for reasons. What's the reason? Because when you don't need to do it, you're doing it for the love of the game. The people that we going to have there that's speaking, we doing it for the love of the game. Trust Christian, know not to control everything. If you enjoyed the episode, hit the like. If you would like to hear the affirmation track again, or if you would like to hear the affirmation track because you didn't hear it, feel free to let us know and we'll do our best to play it again. But otherwise, we're going to continue with the episode. So if you're listening live, if you want to hear the affirmation track, we'll feel free to play it again. Otherwise, we're going to continue with the episode about the Trust Christian, know not to control everything. What happens when we got people nowadays that they come to the workshop, they say, "Oh, Trust Christian in the vault. I'm here, I'm there. I want to be in this position." We would like to say the gray hair should speak for itself on the flyer. The gray hair should speak for itself. First time we ever did that. We put the gray hairs on the flyer. Why asset protection? What conference? Why now? Because trustees enrolled. And we usually do the workshops for the trustees. But we open it up to the general and we're going to see what happens. We already know what happens with trustees or otherwise. But we already know that it's for the trustees. You got to put together the trustees no matter how intimate it is. The mentors have flew in for 6 people. The mentors have flew in for 5 people. What makes you think they're not going to fly in for 500? What makes y'all think they're not gonna fly in for 500? Cornell's flying in for that many people. Cornell's filled up rooms that many people, and of course the senior mentors filled up rooms with 500 people. Of course that look at the senior mentor. This senior mentor, private international trustee experience, for years now, and so we're gonna say when you're dealing with the senior mentors, you got to know what time it is. They're going to tell you to fill out that financial assessment sheet. They're going to make sure that you know what time it is when you're dealing with them. Why? Because it's business, it's not personal. Right? Right. Why now? Because we don't need to talk about the upcoming season in the business market. But yeah, we're not going to say you're going to feel it, but we know what time it is. The ones that are making money are focused on protecting it. Those are the current enrolled trustees and the one that knows that they need to get the consultations and get enrolled before this conference. So this is what we're going to do before this conference. See, y'all already seen the ticket. Y'all already know. We're going to do 264 alumni, trustees from the past. If you've been to an event before, it's 260. So if you've been to an event before, we know you. We've came through before. It's 260. If you're new, 350. That's the way it is. We know those individuals as well. We're doing VIPs for 440. We'll figure out if the alums are going to do the VIP. We already know. When we do VIPs, it's usually like what, like, so out of like 100 people plus, you usually have like 25 plus people, sometimes 40, 50 plus people that want to do VIPs and eat the dinners and eat the lunches together, so that's generally how we end up, having to play it, where we end up having to sit with at least about 25, 35 plus people. It's not a mastermind. We don't like to talk that language here, but quite a few people have ideas. Quite a few people have ventures. They're sharing ideas. They're sharing their leverage. They're sharing their network. They're sharing what they're doing, where they're from. It gets very intimate. We make it a point, especially Trust Creators Revolve, like We make it a point to get intimate in the conversations because a lot of people bring a lot of value to the table. A lot of people got businesses, and at the end of the day, when you're sitting in a room with that group of entrepreneurs, when you're sitting in a room with people that are in trust, people in trust deal with people in trust, and we've always talked about that thought process, and so that's what we're talking about at the vault. So when we talk about people in trust dealing with people in trust, that's what we're talking about at the vault. So at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, doesn't have to be at the end. Trust Christian, know not to control everything. It's that simple. Oh, Cornell with the prop company. We're gonna share with y'all. We know we jumped around right there because we forgot for a quick second, but we got back to the point that Cornell is gonna be at the workshop, and he's gonna share with you all because when you talk about, oh, I gotta go in debt to get some money, it takes money to make money. First of all, you're gonna work to get some money to invest some money. If it takes some money to make some money, you gotta get some money to put the money out to put the money to get the money to come back. That's how it works. You gotta get it first. So when we talk about that basic law, that basic concept, put money out to come back. Okay, what's your risk management now? It takes money to make money, but are you going in debt to get the money? Or are you just working hard, you know, save some money because you can save it and then you invest it, quote unquote, or whatever you do with it, whatever you do with it. We're not saying invest is not a financial advice, not legal advice, but whatever you do with it. Because it's just a paper, it's just a dollar. It's like if you traded a loaf of bread, but it's paper. It's just more, it's paper. So let's talk about this paper. And now we got these companies that say, hey, look, you take our test for less than a grand, two couple grand, we're gonna give you a $50,000 account. We're gonna give you $100,000 account. It makes you wonder, is it real money? Then you sit here and see people doing it, you're like, oh wow, yeah. Hey, we're gonna put up a slide where Cornell in the past has literally been teaching live at the workshop. We've never really done it on a Sunday, but the Saturday is rather challenging. But we've done webinars at the vault for that reason. We've done webinars for that reason because he used to do it on Sundays, man. It's crazy how, sometimes people, you know, it's just it's crazy how people can ruin things, man. For real. It's not even about it being a good thing. Like, he used to do 2 days of hardcore training for $300. It went from 3 to 4 to 5. Now he's got the class to 15, and it's more than that now. He's doing a discount for that now. And so it's like, what do y'all expect for somebody to give out? First of all, it's like asking him, hey man, are you gonna put your stuff in a book? He did. He put it into a class. He put it into a class for people. Oh man. So are you gonna pay a couple grand to get the education? Because think about it. How you gonna ask? It's like a skill or a trait. He always tells people that. He says it's repetition. Okay. Those are differentiators between the winners and the losers. The winners are going to focus on the repetition. The losers, they're not going to stay disciplined to do the hours of the repetition to get great at what? Trading. They're not going to put in the hours to get great at what? Trust, Christian, know not to control everything, wealth management. The ones that are though, you're going to focus on repetition. That's going to be in your vocabulary. You're going to focus on repetition. You're going to focus on diligence. You're going to focus on risk management. Own not to control everything. Cool. You're lowering your risk when you don't own it, right? Right. You're lowering your risk when you don't own it. So why own it, but just not control it? Oh man, I don't want to control it. How about I don't want to own it, but I want to control it on different areas. Cause think about it, you're really in control of your content or the content you're in control of or your creativity that you express to the world. Why? Because you could put it on multiple platforms. It doesn't have to be on one platform. You could put it on multiple platforms. You could work for multiple people. You could work with multiple people. See how that works? Own nothing, control everything. You don't need to own the royalties. You just need to control the distribution so you can know that the royalties, if they run out on one place, you got another place. And if it run on one another place, you got another place. And if it run on another place, you can go to another place. Cause you are multi-talented, correct? You could do multiple things. Are you a one-trick pony? No, I'm not a one-trick pony. But sometimes the young cats, I don't know where to start. Trust Christian, know nothing to control everything. Sometimes you just gotta go wild and crazy. You gotta go wild and crazy before you 30. You gotta go wild and crazy and create as many businesses and fail as many times and succeed as many times as you possibly can. You gotta push the envelope in business. You gotta push the envelope and get around the right people. Oh man, I'm not trying to split the profits with my company or the board. Trust Christian in the vault. I'm not trying to split the profits with a board. I gotta have a chairman. I gotta have a these. I gotta have 5 or 6 board members. And how am I gonna get the cut? Cause there's percentages. If it's your dream, wouldn't you get the majority of the percentage out of the board members? Yeah, okay. 40% of something is better than 0%, 100% of nothing. You taking 40% now? Oh, you taking a 40% trust Christian? If all you talking all this stuff, man, we ain't even gonna talk about that tonight. Because when you talk about the own under control everything, I'm not owning it if I don't have all the shares. Remember how the artists always tell you, I want to own all of it, right? Right. Do they control how it's distributed, or they going to do a distribution deal? They going to do a distribution deal. And usually in distribution deals, traditionally, books, audios, one platform. Why? Oh, because it's a bigger distribution. Why they got printing ad, marketing? What if you got organic buzz? Young cats? What if you have that? What if you have organic reach? Let's get back to this money. Trust Christian, know nothing, control everything. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. We're definitely gonna play the affirmation track again. We're gonna play that affirmation track again actually right now. Just because somebody requested it and they might have to listen to it before they go. So we're gonna play it again. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. Enjoy the affirmation track. I am a dominant leader. I have willpower. I am self-reliant. I am strong in spirit. I have initiative. I am looking to enterprise. I have drive. I have energy. I have boldness. I have audacity. I am daring. I have courage. I have exertion. I have resolution. I have determination. I have intent. And I have purpose. I am so happy and grateful for now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replays. Trust Christian in the vault. Own nothing, trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Definitely, taking it a little far today with the trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. But it's just you can't overemphasize it. Been wanting to put that out for so long now, and just had to figure out how to really concoct that puppy. And when you're in the lab in life, when you're really working, you create. That's a fact. And every champion knows that it looks dark sometimes when you're creating in the dark. But when you get to that point in your life where it's about the stat sheet, it's always been about the stat sheet. But the stat sheet, you start playing the game to win, and you got to keep playing the game offensively. And the track is so relaxing. And if anybody appreciated that track, please feel free to type into the chat that you appreciate it. We really appreciate the feedback about these things because that was something that it took for us to put out for so long now. But to hear the receptivity in the chat is going to mean so much. And obviously, there's going to obviously be people that may or may not like it. But we appreciate all the love and appreciation for that type of content because that's what is the DNA of the vault. That's what's the DNA of what's the heart of how you trust Christian, know not to control everything. How do you do that? You put out your love to the universe. You put out your passion to the universe. You put out the work to the universe. You make the statement that you're here to play. You show up. And that's why we're asking for feedback for people to type into the chat right now that they like the track. For the individuals that want to hear it again before we get off, we'll definitely play it again. We just appreciate the level of relaxation that it brought to us, even playing it live, but even just having people continuously listening to it because it does mean something. It's a very near and dear thing to people at the vault that know us on the trustee side. See, that's something that we do from the trustee side. But to have people from the public side appreciate it, we appreciate that because when you come in trustee training, it's business management, ladies and gentlemen. It's business management. You have to manage, you have to control your attention and your mind. How do you do that? By creating a sound wave that reinforces your success. That track, we could say almost. Do you remember all the words? Does anybody in the chat have anything that stood out to them? Anybody in the chat have anything that stood out to them and said, "Hey, that was something that I agree with, and that's what I am." Does anybody in the chat have anything that stood out to them that they listened to in the track and said that if anybody wants us to play it again, we'll play it again? This is our channel, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for the people that are listening right now live for sure. And the people that are listening to replay, we always get them to reach out to the vault, Christian at trustchristian.com. We always appreciate that. It's on the flyer. We look forward to the people coming to the workshop. What more do you need to hear? Oh, Trust Christian Vault. It's about trusteeship. Trusteeship is about managing your mind because when you can manage your mind, you can manage your calendar. When you can manage your mind, you can manage your habits. When you can manage your mind, you can manage your actions. You can manage your getting up every day and having positive workflow, having positive mindset. How do you have a positive mindset? You obviously got to play affirmations. You obviously got to pay positive words to yourself. So we're sharing with you what we do inside of the vault. It's not an accident. Oh man, Trust Christian Vault. It sounded so mellow, but you're so hyper. How you think we got all this energy? Because we're utilizing that so you can ricochet. You need all the energy so you can create all the things that you need to create at a big level. How do you think you liked all the how do you think you create all these different businesses and all these streams of income? How do you think you like that? Create all those things. You gotta have a lot of energy. How you think you got a lot of energy when you get to a certain age, feeling like you so much younger? And you be like, dang, I can't believe I'm this age, but that's the number on paper. But I feel like I'm still 20 something, man. I'm excited. I'm excited about my goals. I'm excited about my dreams. I'm excited about meeting new people through the internet. So when they say that the internet is dog crap, people are willing to go from the internet and meet people face to face and that they never met and actually create real long lasting relationships. They're willing to get back out the house and create long lasting relationships. Got some people in the chat to say, I liked when you just mentioned that trusteeship is business management. Definitely, business management is. What it's always going to be about. It's definitely going to be about business management. So many people say, "Oh, well, you go to school to get the business management degree." Yeah, but why is it that it seems like a lot of the greats they drop out of that? You want to know why? Because that fact pattern, that way of thinking. Here we go. One of the so-called best CEOs of our time, his name's Elon Musk. He said he doesn't care about your degree. He says he wants to know what's the hardest problem you ever solved in your life. And he's talking about business. And not just in business, maybe working a job. Whatever it is as far as something that creates value. You went from a problem, it was a disaster, you couldn't do it, and then you did it. So we'll give you an example of what it looks like on the public side. Shout out to the mentor Robert Smith. Robert Smith, billionaire, uh, private equity firm manager, used to work for IBM, created patents. Why? Because he worked the job when he graduated from school where they had problems. Somebody brings you an instrument and says, fix it. Well, you say, okay, yeah, I got a job at this major company. I'm sure they're going to give me the manual to fix it. No. Not just are you going to surf the internet, you're going to go and research the instrument, and then you're going to find a way to find out what the problem is, and fix it. You hold on. Well, what type of education do you have? Well, he was an engineer, so he was utilizing his engineering background. Robert Smith, this is an engineer. I think he went to Cornell or Columbia, one of those two schools. Okay, creating actual patents now in his career, created patents. But hold on, how does somebody that goes from a field of creating patents, fixing transistors or some type of like mechanical device to being a financial private equity manager of tech companies, software management companies, software business enterprise companies? That's the portfolio. Oh, what are you holding nowadays, Trust Christian Vault? You holding tech? You holding crypto? You holding this? You holding that? Hold on. Robert Smith showed that you can leave one field, go to another field. When you go from one field to another field, what did he do? He said, I'm not going to hold physical real estate. I'm going to hold tech companies. Of course, he has physical real estate. He has software, IP. It's on some type of disk. It's on some type of chip. Software, IP. It is in the cloud, but it's a chip. Still both ways, two streams of income. All for one business already. You already know his multiples exponential. He easily has a 50-point basis on most businesses. Easy. Why? Because of the fact that he's in something that requires two streams of distribution. It requires cloud and it requires chip. Do you see how easy he just made money? He left what? Creating of IP. He may still create IP. We don't know that. I don't know that right now. But as far as utilizing capital to acquire chip software, because software is not just cloud, it's hardware. Think about it. You can use software on hardware. So software is on hardware and software is in the cloud. That's the game right now, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're utilizing the cloud. How many of you all got a hard disk of your content? Created a magazine. Oh man, magazines suck. No, they don't. The internet's visual. The magazines just moved online. Consumers use magazines because magazines share the trends. They share the most current trends because they have research people, editors, journalists that are out researching the trends. They're paparazzi in it, taking pictures of the celebrities and what are they wearing, the entertainers and what are they wearing. Hmm. So do they own the content? Who owns the content? The companies. The companies own the content. Do you own your content? Let's go ahead and give the bus down. We appreciate everybody for tuning in live. If you haven't hit the like button, we encourage everybody to hit the like button that hasn't hit the like button yet. So, the name. Though they want to control the name. How you going to control the name? I thought you was trying to own it. You don't own a name, you control it. Of course we do that in trusteeship. So it might be multiple things you manage as a trustee. And that's why you got to study. Be prepared. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. We got distracted because somebody typed into the chat, thanks for recommending the ebook. It's helping E-Myth book, which is helping them understand more about business and where it stands. And of course, the E-Myth is a classic. That's a Harvard Business Review book. If you haven't read it yet, well, obviously most people are gonna say Harvard Business is like top top five at least business schools in the United States. So people are gonna say, oh, you need to look at their book list. Their book list has E-Myth. It's in the top 20 reads for anyone that goes to their business school. It may be higher than that, but why would you not read it as an entrepreneur? If the Harvard students have to read it as a youngster, you should just get it in your system at one point in time. It's a classic. He talks about the mindset because who's going to know the public system better than people that have come from the public? The people from the public. The people from the public can tell you how bad the system is. But guess what? We also have to come up with solutions. What's the solution to having a organized mind? How do you get an organized mind? How do you get an organized schedule? How do you get organized money? How do you get organized relationships? You listen to affirmations that talk about you organizing your mind. You visualize things to visualize yourself doing the right actions. It's like practicing before you do it. You got to create the subconscious muscle memory. Oh man, when I got in that situation, I knew what to say. When I got in that situation, I knew not to say I owned it anymore, Trust Christian Vote, because I trained my mind. You did what? You trained your mind not to say you own anything anymore, because you were programmed to say you own things. That's what it is. You're just programmed. So we're giving you all the new program. And of course the program is not you owning anything. So if you all want us to play the affirmation track again, we will just for GP. Because it is about owning nothing, controlling everything. It's not about owning anything. It's about controlling it. But you get into this mindset because that's the culture. That's the trend. See, it's put out in the magazines. And what are people doing? They're consuming the information. They're consuming the data. They're consuming the programs. What's the program? Oh, you need to wear a man purse now. Oh, what's the new trend? Oh, well, if you're not a billionaire, you're not nothing. Get out of here. If you make $1 million in your life, you're major. There's nothing wrong with making $1 million. You make $1 million, you're awesome. If you make 100K, I guess you're awesome. $1 million used to be the standard back in the 1900s, and even now, $1 million is still solid. Make $1 million, you're great. Generate $1 million, you create $1 million, you're awesome. You make 100, that's fine. 100,000, that's fine. You make half a million, that's fine. If you make anything more than that, you're awesome. Obviously, if you make more than $1 million, you gotta be awesome, man. Like you gotta be able to take that on the shoulder and dust your shoulder off. You gotta be okay with being awesome for a second. Like it's nothing wrong with saying, "Dang, man, if I made $1 million, I'm awesome." Or if I generate $1 million, if I grew a business to $1 million, I'm awesome. But everybody's not gonna do that in life. But if you do that, you're awesome. And but to say like, oh, if you're not a billionaire, you're not awesome. It's like, dude, how you not gonna be awesome if you're not a billionaire? Like, stop it. Like, you make $100,000, hey, you're awesome. A lot of third world countries, they're not making $100,000 in their life either. So, you know, not to say people in the United States won't make that standard of living is obviously exceptionally high, but in other places it's not. But you know, the standard of living is growing. Standard of living is high in many places. You know, there's just facts. But appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. I look forward to people coming to the conference, the workshop, the asset protection workshop, August 6th. Feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. We'll send over all the details that you need to get. We're doing, once again, 264 alumni tickets. We're doing, what is that, 350 for just to be in the room. VIP ticket, 440, and that's because it's going to be a quality top flight dinner. We're not playing games. We're here to make sure that it's almost 5 course, but we want to make sure that what people don't understand. A lot of times people talk that smack when they listen and they tune in or whatever. They be like, "Oh man, what are these guys really doing?" You know. First of all, y'all see how we moving out here when it comes to the flower. If you've been listening for a while, we appreciate love from Jersey. Always appreciate love from Jersey. If you tune in live, listen to replay, feel free to type into the chat where you listen to live, listen to replay from. Always feel free to type into the chat where you listen to live, listen to replay from. So, once again, you know, we're making it a point to just do the workshop for the peoples. You know, so for sure we're going to spend some extra hours that day. We're not just going to do a 9 to 5 for the VIP dinner. The VIP dinner goes beyond that. This is a recording. This the VIP dinner. It might be from 5 to 7. So when you talk about it's 440, that's what you're getting. The extra hours. We putting the extra hours in now. It's very important. VIP only now. We want to see who wants to earn that ticket. Who wants to make it a point to say, okay, yeah, we in the room, but $450. Let's think about that, ladies and gentlemen. That's how much a sweater cost. Oh, I'm buying Virgil stuff. I'm buying Virgil. That's a $400 hoodie right there. Those sneaks that Virgil dropped, those are $400 sneakers that Virgil dropped right there. Oh, that's a $400 pair of jeans right there. That's a $400 pair of jackets right there. Jacket that you got on there. Right. Those are $400 sunglasses you got on right there. $400 sunglasses you got on right there. Yep. That's a $400 pair of shoes you got on right there. Right. That's VIP dinner status. When you got $400 pair of shoes on, of course you got $400 for dinner. Of course. Because you got $400 shoes on your feet. And the couples, we know the couples are going to be there. You know, VIP. We're just going to go ahead and give them that. Alum, once again. Well, we're going to get this edited because that looks horrible. We needed to make it a lot better. We're being critical publicly in front of people. We're being transparent. It needs to have a lot more detail on that flyer right there so y'all can really see that, like, for sure that, yeah, this is alum. This is new people. We've been all over the country. Of course, we've been in Jersey. Did we do one in Jersey one year? We did one in Jersey. Pretty sure we did one in Jersey. It was actually at the it was like the train station. It was across the street from Penn Station. Pretty sure it was across the street from Penn Station. It was definitely across the street from Penn Station, I think. Dallas. We're in Orlando. It's easy breezy. In, out, VIP dinner. Might stay the night. Maybe, if you're really talking big, you're supposed to buy the ticket that for the next day you drop a couple $100 or $100 and you go to the theme park with your kids or us. Maybe we got to make it that type of day. Maybe we do. We work hard and we play hard. You think Cornell and us, we always got to fly in and out? We don't. We can say, hey, look, if we don't have to fly in and out, we can make it a point to work hard and play hard. People say, oh, is y'all living? We're doing it all. You got to live your dreams. Oh, man, I don't know if I want to go to Orlando Studios. No worries. We'll see you at the Asset Protection Conference, though. Because it needs to be at that level. Oh man, Trust Christian Involved, how big y'all gonna do it? Y'all doing it big? Is y'all like bigger than is y'all gonna do it big? First of all, the event. First of all, is everybody an entrepreneur? No. So it ain't for everybody. But we've always had a full standing only room. Every time. Jersey did an event with Taj in Jersey. Taj Tariq Bey. Y'all can go search that name. Taj Tariq Bey. Did a workshop with him in Jersey. Anybody else want to type in the chat what city they from? See who we work with in that city? Did workshops all over with the so-called gurus, the internet gurus. They got millions of hits, but how many people are they putting money in their pocket? How many people are they helping them say asset protection conference, or they having you come to a conference to motivate you? You need motivation. You ain't gonna be wealthy. Your motivation is your family. You don't need no outside motivation. The motivation is to get around other people that's focused on what? Building a family estate, protecting their family estate. Is this a message for everybody? No, it doesn't resonate with everybody. Think about it. If you listening in this long, do you think everybody is listening in this long? No, but there are a select few that are listening that say, "Oh, I've been listening for a while. Oh, I'm only listening for those previous episodes. I'm gonna see what it's about." I like even the style of conversation that's being had about family protecting, asset protection. Hold on, we talking about private family banking? Yeah, we need to do a family bank. Oh man, Trust Christian Val, I can't believe it. You know, well, I can, and I'm happy to hear that. Because I've been wanting to do private family banking for a long time now. You get access to the mentors. People try to strike it out, think they gonna strike it out rich. Nah. See, when this is how you know you valuable when you put money in the mentors' pockets. That's why we're doing a VIP dinner. Because many years now, people got businesses and they want to work with the mentors. It's the VIP dinner. People want to work together. What do you got going on? Of course, in the VIP dinner, we could tell y'all to have a 1 minute pitch. But guess what? You don't need a 1 minute pitch when we're at the VIP dinner and you just get to talk about who you are and be yourself. What do you do? What kind of business you got going on? Can we invest into you? People entrusted with people in trust. But people sometimes forget that. Cause they not how you gonna invest or do think business with the people if you're not around the people that's moving like you? That's why we do it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. Uh Somebody typed into the chat how many people would we need to bring the vault. Reach out to the vault Christian at trustchristian.com. We'll say that. You never know. It's always about quality over quantity. So it's not always about the people. We travel for trustees still to this day. The reason why we do the workshops in the public with multiple people is because are you willing to do the quality that time for yourself? Or are you just rather do a $300 ticket or a $400 ticket for dinner and a movie, if you know what we mean. You know, it's not about the amount of people at the workshop. It ain't just the people don't just want to see Trust Christian in the vault. They want Cornell and Victor to come. Why? Because these are partners. These are people that we don't need to even call them a partner. They're not a partner. These are people that, guess what? When you're in trust, you deal with people in trust. That's what you're getting. You're getting people at the workshop that's what the environment is. Remember, you're going to the workshop because that's what you got to get around. Why? Because if your family's not moving in that manner and you don't have too many friends that are moving in that manner, you got to find some associates or you got to find people that are moving in that manner. That's the difference. So it's not about how many people. Reach out Christian at trustchristian.com. It's just the email Christian at trustchristian.com, and we'll move forward from there. It's not about how many people. It's not about people because what happens when we're dealing with a family now and they got over 10 people that we're literally dealing with. This is not one time, multiple times, but in this one particular case where you got 10 people that are family members that are multiple families and they're looking to be a multiple family syndication. And they're looking to work together. Trust Christian, own not to control everything. That's what they're looking to do. Own not to control everything. So how many people is it? Oh, well, we're having to work with them remotely. Why? Because these are multiple families living in multiple states. So you end up having to work with these families, but there are multiple family syndication, right? That are looking to own, not to control everything. See how we talk about that? So it's not just oh how many people, it's how many different situations and the quality. Because we're having to work with them virtually, not go to them. How are we gonna go to them? They're virtual. You think all of them gonna be able to coordinate three families, four? What is that? No, it's actually like five families. You think five families are gonna be able to coordinate being in one location? Well, that's why we're doing the workshop. So all those families can plan out time just to come to the workshop, and they can take their families to Orlando Studios or something like that. They can enjoy the Universal Studios. They can enjoy Orlando because otherwise, how are we gonna get all of them coordinate their schedules to come to one location? And we're doing this, giving them months of time in advance, just like we're giving all the trustees and all the families multiple time to be able to come to the workshop. That's how we're doing it. So they can plan it out a little bit more efficiently. Whereas you think about it, you're getting trustee training, you're working, hey, well, how soon can you come? Well, right now, it's not even going to be 30 days. It's definitely not going to be 30 days. Unless you're talking some immediate capital. What are you talking? You're talking quite a bit. Quite a bit. What are you talking? How are you talking? Plus a plus. It's a plus five for sure. No, it's almost a plus 10. You're talking to somebody to come to you in less than 30 days. For sure. So it's not about the people. It's about sometimes when you're things in life, you have to move things around. How do you move things around? Based off the value. Well, what do you value? Is it value the money or value the importance to that family at that time? Well, if the family needs it immediately, you have to make sure that the family understands that immediate reflects that. It's called value for the immediate. Right. As opposed to the long term and doing it later on. Right. There's an immediate need for it. People pay for that value. They pay for the immediate value, not for the long term value. Even though it has long term value, but they pay for it immediately. See how that works? Whether they're paying or whether they're just looking to get it, and they get it. So we look forward to hearing from the families at this workshop. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. We definitely might play the affirmation track here one more time as we end it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. If you like the affirmation track, feel free to hit the live. We'll hit the like for the affirmation track. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Look forward to hearing from you all or seeing you at the workshop. We already know what time it is. Everybody that listens live, listens to replay knows what time it is. If you come to a workshop in the past, we're going to make sure that we have a better flyer up here. Just know that that's coming. We're not even playing at the vault. That right there, we need to get that better. Why? Because we need to show you all the pricing for alums. Everything needs to be a lot more better and clearer. We got time. You all have a general price range, and you all see what we're doing. We look forward to hearing from you all at the workshop, seeing you at the workshop. Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace. Once again, Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace. Enjoy. I am a dominant leader. I have willpower. I am self-reliant. I am strong in spirit. I have initiative. I am looking to enterprise. I have drive. I have energy. I have boldness. I have audacity. I am daring. I have courage. I have exertion. I have resolution. I have determination. I have intent. And I have purpose. I am so happy and grateful for now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources.
basis.